Welcome to Sydney Missionary and Bible College. 11 years ago I was a student here, but we are not here to talk about me, who cares? We are here to talk about someone that last week we started here.
For who don't know me, my name is Sinbad Kali, in Tongan it's Sinbad. I turned to Christ after coming to a youth rally at this very hall. Since that day, I've been made a new person. He pulled me out of the darkness and I made peace with God. Sin didn't blind my eyes anymore and I've been given a new heart. Psalm 50 verse 22, He threatens to tear sinners to pieces. And I'm not trying to tell you, I'm telling you because it is true.
Sinbad, I'm going to ask you a few questions about your journey being here at this college.
Yeah.
And the first question I want to ask you, when did you become a Christian?
I became a Christian about 8 months ago after attending a youth rally. It's been a long journey, but God has changed my life and changed me as a person. So, about 8 years ago, after hearing a testimony of a man, how he turned to Christ after trials and tribulations he had faced, it seemed impossible for him. But through my answers I found at Bible study, God saved me. So, yeah, for a few months now I've been a Christian.
So, you've really last year you become a Christian.
Yeah.
But what life is like for you before you become a Christian?
When I think of it now, you could say I was very lost. The man the world said, I wanted to be the man the world said to be. I was a heavy drinker, I was a drug user, I had a violent temper, and I chased after every desire of my body. And I can tell you, they may glorify it on TV and movies, but those desires took me to a place where I didn't care whether I lived, to places where I felt isolated from my family, from my friends. I had no one to turn to. This is where my desires took me. And it took me to a very lonely and dark place. Yeah.
So now you become a Christian, and what life is like for you now compared to before?
Well, life for me now is changed so much. You know, I was before I was a Christian. My comfort every time something went wrong in my life was drugs and alcohol. You see, every time something goes wrong in my life, I go to prayer now. I go to Jesus because I know He exists. I couldn't have changed my life without Him. You know, everything I've accomplished is because of Jesus in my life. Without Jesus, I don't have hope. But I'm hopeful. You know, I have better relationships. My relationships with my parents, I used to treat them very bad before I was a Christian, but you know, God's helping me to be a better person, a better man. You know? Not the man that I used to be, not the person that I used to be. So life's good. I'm at Bible college. I'm getting to know God even more, and that's all I need. If I don't have anything else in my life, all I know is that if I've got God, I'll be okay. I'm alright.
Thank you. And I want to ask you because, as I remember last year, you became a Christian through youth rally, and then straight from there to our Bible study on Tuesday. How does the Bible study help you in your faith or in your Christian life now?
It's it's a place where I can understand the gospel. It's I've sat in church my whole life and I have got nothing out of it.
Yep.
For me, it's preached in Chinese, and I still wouldn't understand. It would have been just the same when they were preaching in Tongan. But the Bible study, I can understand the gospel, and I'll tell you, it's a lot of things in the Bible I can see myself in. It's, and God through the Bible, through God's word, He's making me a better man. And that, you can sit around and think, I'm too hard, I'm too much of a, as I was tried to be in my past, I'm too gangster to listen. But I tell you that pride in your heart will get you nowhere. If you're not willing to open your heart to God, you will never ever get anywhere. I believe that at the Bible study, it helps me open my heart to God and God's word helps change my life and change me as a person.
Thank you, Sinbad. I wanted to ask you the last question I want to ask you before I left you to go to your class.
Yeah.
And that question is like, do you have any advice for the young people who might listen or watch this video?
For a lot of us, when I think about my life before, I had the attitude that, the Bible is boring. God, someday I'm just going to live my life, get married and become holy and a good church person. It doesn't happen that way. You're a sinner and you're stuck until God moves on your behalf. I'm telling you, if God didn't move on behalf, I'd be the same person, same person hurting other people, hurting my family, hurting, and my relationship with God wouldn't be any better. I'd be the same person saying, I love God, but at the same time being drunk in the club, starting trouble with everyone. So I just say, you've got to open your heart to God. You can't just think that one day something will happen and you'll just open your heart to God. It doesn't work that way. You've got to open your heart to God and pray that He and ask Him into your life. Because without God in your life, you might as well you might be as lost as I was, and following in the ways of the world. Because the world, they glorify all these things and say, this is the way you're supposed to live. But I tell you, I lived in those ways. And He took me to places where, I tell you, there's places where I never ever thought my life would go. But it is a new day and I'm a new person. And that's all because of God in my life. And I've lost a lot of people in my life, but I tell you, I'd rather walk with God on my own in the light than walk with the world in the darkness. So that's probably my advice that I'd say to the youth.
Thank you, mate. Well
For
done.
your time.
That is Sinbad Kali. A few years ago, he played for the Melbourne Storm.
Used to
play for the Melbourne Storm and Newcastle Knight Reserve, and then from there,
now I'm at Bible college.
Called him to be at this Bible college to help our young people. And I hope this will help anyone to think more seriously about God. Thank you for listening to us.
See, yes.